Hey guys, first regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a Xenophase Blade Bulwark build for patch 11.2 of Space Marine 2. Now the Xenophase Blade is one of my favorite heroic weapons in the entire game. The perk effect here is called Ancient Technology. Power rake waves are wider and deal 20% more damage. I think that this perk effect is pretty underrated because what this actually does is change the angle of your power rake waves, which allows them to hit things like zoanthropes and even neurothropes at times, which is actually pretty damn useful for saving ammo, so way better than you might think initially. Now for the perk tree setup on this and like the base perk tree, I do start off with the Armored Strength, moving here into the perk Master of Offense. After you switch a sword combat style, you do 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Now, usually you can go into a sword combat style switch immediately into a lunging attack, which will allow you to get off a power rake attack immediately with this 20% melee damage buff active, which is a pretty nice synergy there. And next perk here is Perpetual Strength, and Perpetual Strength once again for a 10% melee damage increase. Then I grab the perk here, Tranquility, which really doesn't help us too much. We do have to pick this one up to move to the next perk here with Melee Onslaught for a 10% melee damage increase. Then I grab Hard Target, which is while performing a light combo, you will take 15% less range damage. This perk is actually pretty good, just not super good on the Xenophase Blade because we only have like a 3+ speed, but like it's not that bad. Like 15% range damage is still pretty good to have. Next perk here is Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. This perk is godly. Pretty much always pick this up. You know, in any version of the Power Sword in this game, Power Rake is the best attack, and this one also has a stronger Power Rake in base. So this thing is even better here, so pretty much always pick up Cutting Edge. Next perk here is Extremis Slayer, moving up here into Majora Slayer, and the final perk I grab is Terminus Slayer, moving down into Power Restoration. Power style attacks restore 100% more contested health. Now, this perk is pretty nice to have, just doubles your CHP regen on a power style attack, though I will say Speed Restoration is also pretty good. It really is just up to you which one you want to take, and that's pretty much all there is for the Xenophase Blade setup. Now for the secondary option here, I do take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. This has top tier CHP recovery, damage, and stagger, which is really nice for chaos and stuff like that. Though the only thing holding this weapon back is of course the ammo economy, which is why I pick all the top row perks for ammo, on top of things like Divine Might down here for 10% damage increase, because really having more ammo on this weapon is just way better. And the bottom tree is not terrible by any means, it's just unfortunately you will run out of ammo so damn fast, even with perks like the Auxiliary Reload on Bulwark to give you back ammo for your secondary, that it's just not worth taking in my opinion. So pretty much always build it this way, which is unfortunate, but like hopefully they rework the perk tree at some point. Now other options could be things like the Relic Tier Heavy Bolt Pistol or the Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol. I would set them up this way because going all the way down here for things like Death Strike is really nice. Then you can move up here into perks like Discipline, Strong Finish, on top of things like Headhunter, and pick up stuff like Gunstrike Reload and Tactical Precision. This perk is really nice on pretty much any bolt weapon in the game because headshots are just way more important than body shots in this game, so having more headshot damage is way more beneficial. And same thing here for the bolt pistol. The Firepower bolt pistol has pretty decent gun strike damage in this game, not quite as high as the heavy bolt pistol options, but still pretty good. And for the perk tree, I would set up this way. But, you know, that's pretty much all I would take on this. I would skip over the Neo Volkite because the Neo Volkite CHP recovery is just kind of dog shit, so I would just prefer the over that. But, you know, if you want to take this, you could. I just probably wouldn't. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary options here. Now for the perk tree, I start off here with Intimidating Aura first. A Perfect Time Parry deals area effect damage within a 5-meter radius. The cooldown is 5 seconds. This perk is incredible. The amount of free damage you get off of this is kind of ridiculous at times. And we are using a balanced weapon here with the Xenophase, so pretty easy to pull off a parry even with that negative frame startup. Next perk here, Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you will take 25% less damage from range attacks. This is a free range damage reduction for something that happens all the time in this game, which is being surrounded by 5 or more enemies, so I do prefer this one. Next perk here is Steel Within. When your health is less than 50%, you will take 30% less health damage. Having some kind of damage reduction like this on the Bulwark class will make you dramatically more tanky. Your base HP is an increase of 30%. On top of this perk will give you a tremendous amount of damage reduction at a low HP value. So a really strong option, but same thing here as Conviction. At least as long as you have, like, you know, one of these two, you will be pretty absurdly tanky. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds, all of your squad members will automatically restore 1 armor segment. This perk is just free damage reduction for your entire team, though the perk down here, Advanced Conditioning, with a contested health fading 50% more slowly for everybody, is easier for newer players. If you want to pick this one up, you definitely can. I just prefer this one personally. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies with direct effect. This does so much free damage in this game. It honestly gives your banner so much more value that you pretty much always want to grab this. The other options here, like Rapid Regeneration or the perk here, Focus Strength, are just not that good, and this one just has way more value than those perks, so pretty much always pick this up. Next perk here is Invigorating Icon. When the banner is activated, all of your team members regain maximum contested health, where recharges 50% slower. You know, printing HP off your banner in this game is a ridiculously powerful effect. The fact that they didn't nerf this even further is kind of insane to me, but you know, Invigorating Icon, it is an incredible perk. Pretty much always grab this for like a top tier build of any kind, because this perk for like 99% of players is going to be the best, so definitely grab this if you want. Next perk here is Merciless Resolve. After a Shield Bash, Shield Rush, or Thunderhammer Pommel Smash, your melee damage increases by 15%, and you won't lose control from heavy hits and can't be knocked back for 10 seconds. Having no knockback in this game will save your life, and all you have to do to trigger this perk is just Shield Bash the air for like whatever reason. Really easy to pull off, really easy to do over and over again, though I will say you cannot reapply this effect until the current 10 seconds are up, so just keep that in mind. Final perk here is Defensive Mastery. A perfect time parry or block will instantly incapacitate a Majora's or Extremis level enemy. The cooldown is 90 seconds. This perk may not sound that strong initially because you're like, what the hell? It has a 90-second cooldown to like kill one Majora's or Extremis, but usually removing an Extremis instantly in this game is a top tier effect no matter what. That's why Melta Bombs are so good in a lot of cases, so this one's really no different. Especially in like the highest waves of Siege where the enemies will have more HP than like 2 Melta Bombs can take out, this perk's value goes up tremendously, so definitely grab this one for like a top tier option. Now, for the Prestige perk list, I do take the perks here with Resilience first. Medicae Sensors for 40% more HP into Overcharge. Held and charge attack damage increases by 20%. This will increase the damage of your power rake on your power sword. It's kind of like the whole point of the Xenophase anyways, so definitely grab this one. And the final two perks I grab are Powerful Shot for your range damage increase of 20% and Masterful Defense for ability charge restoring by 1% for every blocked range attack. You can absolutely farm banners off this perk against things like Soulcan Terminators and stuff like that, so a really top tier option, and really any CDR in a game like this is going to be good, and this perk is no different. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Xenophase Blade is a ton of fun to use. It looks so damn cool, on top of the fact that this build is also very easy to run, so hopefully this build guide helped you, especially if you're new, and as always, thank you for watching, take it easy, bye. Oh wow, Carnifex. I'm surprised they didn't give me a Neuro Throat. Instead of the triple Zone throw up earlier.
Our banner awaits us first. Get that Carnifex with everything we have. Failed that ultimate. We have to awaken the other consoles before we venture into the fortress. Consoles before we venture into the fortress.
There we go.
We have to awaken the other consoles before we venture into the fortress. We have to awaken the other consoles before we venture into the fortress.
Yeah, I hate when it spawns a double range spam on you during a boss fight. That's so many range enemies.
We have to awaken the other consoles before we venture into the fortress. That silence We have to awaken the other consoles before we venture into the fortress.
Alright, let's just go and finally do the actual objective. Yeah, if it weren't for like the random bad objectives on this map, it'd be peak. The finale objective like actually does its best to ruin the entire mission. Very tragic.
Communion with vessel complete. Ministerial authority accepted.
FTG, what heroic weapon do you suggest is my first one to grab? I mean, there are a lot of good options. Xenophase is pretty good. Fencing Thunderhammer is the best Fencing Thunderhammer, or the Heroic Thunderhammer is the best Fencing Thunderhammer. Heroic Heavy Bolter is the best Heavy Bolter. The amount of ammo you save with this weapon is pretty funny. Pretty funny how much ammo you actually save because of the angle of this. You have to hit so many enemies. It's like a ranged weapon at this point.
We need to find and remove this material so we can leave this room. We can alien vines suffocate the generators. Let us rectify this. These people call their own. There must be scores nearby.
Blessings extended to the slumbering unit. Awakening has begun.
I'll say thanks for making videos on this game. You're on my goat. Thanks, school. Thanks, dude. That's what you say.
Console operational. Connection.
Ow.
System restoration complete. Primary controls reset.
We activated the consoles. We must open the door. Captain Akaran, we are entering the fortress now. The weapon system is next.
Good. Head up to the cannons and remind the Xenos of whom they appear to attack.
You didn't know the power wave works on the vines? Well, it works on anything. It's the angle. I'm pretty sure the normal power wave also does, but just like with Zoanthropes, just way easier on this version. So the angle change. All right. And Rage of Hour is particularly nasty for melee. It's just a mean enemy. It just shoots you in the face when you're 2 feet in front of it. Just a very rude enemy to fight. Oh, 1 second, guys. Yep. Oh, perfect. Well, I say perfect, it's in like...
Crush the ravenous brood.
Ow. There we go.
Ammunition here.
You were trapped in there with them, they were trapped in there with you. Xenophase pretty good for AoE slapping, guys. You know, Power Axe would be better. Actually, in some ways, Xenophase is better for that. Just cut down the melee rope, or like chop through the range guys at a distance a bit more.
Steel yourselves, brothers. They will not stop us from activating the cannons, Captain. Resources acquired. Waste nothing, brothers. Stand firm. We will not be intimidated, brothers. We must turn the cannons on it while there is still time.
Now comes the least entertaining part of this whole mission.
Controls to operate them.
We have found the control console for the cannons, Captain Akaran.
Defensive cannons active. Targeting system non-functional. Initializing secondary system. Established.
The Tyranids cannot stand against our attacks for long. The Hierophant attacks! Defensive positions!
Target to the system.
Keep clear of its foulness! More attacks like that, and this abomination will fall. The Tyranids cannot stand against our attacks for long.
Defense cannons depleted. Activate auxiliary generators to resume fire.
Alright. Perfect.
Forward tracker! We crush the ravenous brood.
But the faster we can get this done, the better. Ow.
I have activated the generator.
No.
We can fire the cannons.
This control has been disrupted.
Oh, that won't hit me.
Re-establish service call and system.
A little close, a little close. Put the wind on that one. You'd rather this fight the Vortex Beast any day? Vortex Beast is actually fun, though.
Service call detected. Synchronization.
That's a fun boss to solo.
Cannons ready.
More attacks like that, and this abomination will fall. Brothers, retaliate! The Tyranids cannot stand against our attacks. Find your positions! Press the attack! This monstrosity is almost done. The cannons are depleted. Refill them with energy from the generators.
Okay, that was fencing. Would've cooked him. Good shot. Yo, first time in the chat. Give me some tips to improve my gameplay in games. Had a shout out to Brazil too. Please shout out to Brazil. Yo, this is FTG shouting out all of Brazil, the entire country. Is that what you wanted? That's sufficient. Do it again. As far as like which part of your game,
Auxiliary generators and reawaken.
I would say number one thing is learn to backdash in this game. Like that move right there, where you just press your button while standing still and do this. Probably the most important thing in this entire game people don't do. Ow. Nobody ever asked me why I like Glory's Shield. That sucks that that killed my execute there.
The auxiliary generators shall nourish our cannons.
Alright, well I didn't want to, I wanted to make sure, but that was not a wasted Delta Bomb because of that.
It retaliates.
I need to get out of here before I get dunked on.
The cannons are depleted. generators.
Quite a beautiful
Defensive position.
bit of range spam in this game. Both boss fights had nothing but ranginess. The game knows when you're like a melee class, I swear.
This tide of Xenos is in.
Alright, as all of the snipers are dead, I don't really much care for the rest of these guys. Ow.
Generator is running. Gas cannons charged. Target the Tyranid. It retaliates.
FTG, I'm the big 24 today. Just want to say thanks for teaching me to play this game for over a year now. Happy day. Thanks, Kyle. And happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday, Kyle. Damn, we're almost like right at Christmas. Bang. Alright, that sucks. He's behind a pillar. I just forgot to do this all again. I'm gonna crash out. Where is he?
The Hierophant attacks. Defensive position. Maintain the space between you and our enemy's assault.
Alright, we'll still get him if we do this. Over. Every time it ends, it's like, thank God. On that map. Goddamn. I started following you by watching some videos about the builds you made, and it to me that I wanted to become even better in the game, so as to not feel bad for the highest difficulty. Absolute. I think it'd help. I don't know which one like you need. I don't know what you need particular help with. Yeah, it's like a more general thing, but there are definitely general tips. I'll make a general tips guide eventually. I'll do that. A lot of people have asked. FTG, how often do you use the stomp with the chain sword? I feel like whenever I use the chain sword, I have 0 AoE whatsoever. Occasionally. I mean, it's like 99% use against my Norse, but like on the heroic chain sword one, I use it quite a bit. Hey, there we go.